Guys, this weekend at UFC 291, a new BMF will be crowned, and my partners at DraftKings are offering an incredible deal for all new customers who sign up using the promo code SONNEN. New customers, bet just $5 on any of this weekend's fights and receive $150 in bonus bets instantly. You can even use your bonus bets on DraftKings same fight parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same fight, including number of rounds and method of victory. Remember, DraftKings is the only place where you can bet same fight parlays. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy. So click on the link below and download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Remember, new customers, use the code SONNEN and bet just $5 on any wager to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code SONNEN only at DraftKings. Michael Bisping, man, he said some beautiful things about Tom Aspinall. He said he's going to be the champion of the world. He brought in Jon Jones. Bisping put him over, said how great Jon Jones is, and Michael really does believe that. He believes really great things about Jon Jones. I've had private conversations with him and heard that. He acknowledged all of those things in the interview that I'm referencing. He said, but Tom's better. So as a matter of fact, Tom would do to Jon what he did over the weekend to Tybura. And I'm going, really? I mean, I was thinking that he's going to walk him down, he's going to set him up, he's going to throw one down the middle, and he's going to knock him out. Like, wow, that is tremendously high praise. Bisping does have a respect and a loyalty to fellow British fighters. I've got to disclose that. But even with that in mind, this was easily the highest praise I've ever heard Bisping give somebody. That includes himself. Even when he's built up himself, it wasn't as far as he went with Tom. And I just want to take a closer look at it because I also see something very special with Tom. I don't have very many faults. I didn't have a problem with Tom the night that he lost to Curtis Blades. I thought he performed fairly well. He went out and hurt himself. Lesson learned. Tom is a young guy, and he also has a level of respect that he shows, and sometimes his interviews have gotten in his own way. Dana White quoted Tom last week, building up to the fight in London. He quoted him, and it wasn't positive. He said what Tom said, which was, I'm not ready for Jon Jones. Dana said, he said, I don't know what to do with that. He said about who's next. You're talking about title fights. You're talking about, this is going into the fight. Should this be a number one contenders match? Dana's like, how can I do that? How can I do that when the guy himself who's favored says he's not ready? I got to take him at his word. I'm just sharing with you that if you were to be critical of Tom, you would have to turn things like that. Well, if you're talking about an athlete and you got to turn to things that he said as opposed to physical things that he did, I'd say he's in a pretty good spot, right? We give Tom a hard time if we want, but if that's all we got, we don't have much. Not to mention, he rectified that entire situation on Saturday. He cleared that all up. Laid out a roadmap. There was two things about that roadmap that confused me. And Tom, who's also done media since, said that he got that idea from Bisping. That Bisping, somewhere in passing or something they call fighter interviews, that's where the commentary team meets with every single fighter, ask them some questions. They're completely unhelpful, but it's part of the process. And Tom said he got the idea from Michael and that he went with it. And of that roadmap, which is the single best that's laid out in our sport, you will not have a division anywhere that has as clear of a roadmap laid out, that is multiple steps, as the one that Tom laid out. So therefore, he's got the best idea and the best strategy, the best narrative in our entire sport. That's true. It doesn't make it right. And there's two problems with it. There's two problems. First off, he included Ciryl Gane. So, if Tom was to get one of the bosses to come in and sign off, okay, we got a tournament, we got it going on, we got a round robin, we got these three guys, here's how we're going to lay this out. if he was to get them to come in and sign off on that, they would be committing that whoever of those three emerges gets the opportunity. There is no scenario where Ciryl Gane gets back in that cage with Jon Jones. None. None. It could be a last-minute replacement where anybody can get an opportunity. They'll cancel the fight before they give it to Ciryl Gane, okay? So that was one of the problems. And the bigger problem is the path did not include Sergey Pavlovich. Now, the good news is you can forget Sergey Pavlovich anytime that you want to, because he'll let you. The fact that Pavlovich has not stepped up in a massive capacity and made himself the backup fighter for Madison Square Garden is such a lack of responsibility by him to his own career. It is such a lack of responsibility by his management team. It is inexcusable behavior from a professional standpoint, where you've got contracts and you're paying and you're counting on people. The fact that Pavlovich has sat here quiet as Tom Aspinall laid out a plan to a title which provoked a response from the champ himself. The fact that there was a main event that was heavyweights over the weekend, there's main events that are heavyweights coming up in Paris. Sergey doesn't even have an opponent that I'm aware of. Oh, and by the way, if you find out he does have an opponent, don't act like you just got one over on me. I've strengthened my point even further. If Sergey has an opponent and I don't know about it because he does such a crappy job of telling people, you've strengthened my argument. I don't believe that he has an opponent. I don't believe that he has anything. I do believe he's next in line. I do not believe you're going to have any type of a three-way dance and you're going to leave him out. But you can do just that if he doesn't put himself in. And he's done nothing. When I tell you the irresponsibility by his management team, that they have sat here quiet, when I tell you there was a main event over the weekend, 3 guys got called out, his name didn't get mentioned. Commentator and a Hall of Famer named Michael Bisping has done interviews on it. The biggest voice in the sport, yours truly. I'm helping him, right? They'll hear this and think, well, how could Chael say that about us? We're sportsmen. I'm helping you, you dumb sons of bitches. Nobody's talking about you, and that includes you. You have a guy who is 29-1. His last 6 fights, he won all of them in the first round by finish, which we're told in this sport is supposed to matter. And they brought in an over-the-hill who hasn't fought in 3 years. And they're going to take him to the Mecca. And they haven't mentioned you. I'm doing you a favor, and I'm trying to help you. But I'm not going to keep doing it. By the way, Sergey, you either take a hold of your career, and if that's not what you want to do, you hired somebody to show you how to throw punches because you weren't good at doing that. And you're paying somebody to teach you grappling because you're not good at that. Pay somebody to take over your social media. Pay somebody to go out and form a relationship with the media. Everything I just said about you, I did on my own. Your people didn't contact me. Why? I hear from everybody in the sport, including promoters. I've never heard from your team. So get your house in order. Hire the right people to do these things. You should be the number 1 contender. You're the rightful guy to be fighting here. You should be the backup fighter. You're the rightful guy to do that. They've leaned on you before and you did it. There's rewards that come with that if you ask for them. But you will not get anything. And I know you're a guest. I want to treat you with that respect. But here, you don't get anything that you don't ask for.